and it's great to be anywhere, you know. I started
That's
off
fantastic.
in rock and roll. When I was at school, some friends and I had a band called the Hoods.
The
Uh,
Hoods, baby.
yeah, and we needed a bass player, and I put an ad in the Melody Maker, and this guy called Bill Perks rang up. And he was a bit older than we were, and we were doing, in our last year of what you would call high school, and we couldn't offer him regular gigs because we would have to drop out now and again for exams and things like that. And in these days, a local rock and roll band could get 2 or 3 gigs a week. But anyway, I said, sorry, you're obviously looking for something more regular than we can provide, and said goodbye, and we got somebody else. He later changed his name to Wyman and joined some other mob, who the rest of the other mob are still playing.
That's awesome.
I claim I made him famous. But I
There's
then spent in the 60s. I got involved in the great folk music scare,
okay.
and discovered Peter, Paul and Mary and Bob Dylan, and then lots of English traditional folk music. And I was sort of on the folk music circuit for quite a while. And then much later, I joined a Cayley band. And I've been on radio and played at a few festivals and things like that. And then I went back to my roots and had a blues band, and I've been playing blues and a bit of jazz. And then during the lockdown, because with COVID we couldn't go anywhere, so I decided to write some of my own stuff. And record that. So I've had to learn how to record my own stuff rather than going into the studio and getting somebody else to do it. And I'm plugging a single, which is a remix of one I did about about a year and a bit ago. But I've re-recorded the vocals and put some harmonies and stuff like that. And this one is about a guitar that I bought off a friend. Nearly 50 years ago, would you believe? And he had it new, and Grit Laskin in Canada made him a handmade guitar, which was really beautiful. So I bought this one off him, and I realized at some point that this guitar had been about the most constant thing in my life. Years ago, I got divorced, and I remarried, and was married to a lovely wife and we had a couple of children. Then she died about 20 years ago, and I'm lucky I got remarried again, not all that long ago. But throughout all these changes in my life, this guitar has been there for me, and it was made by a Japanese guy, Yari, and it's a love song to that, really.
Well, you are fantastic, my friend. Thanks for being with us today here on our big broadcast. And if you're joining us live here on Twitch, yes, we're twitching over there on Twitch. And we also are making it happen at 990 WBOB out there in Rhode Island, of all places. And I am, of course, Jigman Freud. We have got a special in-studio guest we are going to go to as soon as we are done with our guest that we're currently talking to. Tony Rundle is, did I get the last name right, or did I butcher that, Tony?
You butchered it.
Okay, good. That is par for the course, baby. So I'm glad to see that my streak is still intact. Yes, indeed, I am Jiggy Jag, the ugly American. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's Rundle, like
Rundle. Rundle. That's right. Well, you started playing music in South London. You spent many a year on the folk circuit. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about what you the making of this, because you play all sorts of instruments. You play bass, you do various guitars, you know how to play a mandolin, which is amazing.
Yeah, well,
Concertina, all sorts of things.
I started off playing an ordinary guitar, and then I think about the early 80s, I was in Juan-les-Pins on holiday, and I went to the Juan-les-Pins festival and saw Marcus Miller, who you may have heard of as a fantastic jazz funk bass player. And at the time, my guitar playing was sort of stuck in a bit of a plateau, and I was thinking of putting a band together again. And I saw Marcus Miller, and I was just knocked out by him. And I thought, I better get myself a bass. So I switched from an ordinary guitar to bass and put a blues band together. And that's how I come to play bass. And it's quite interesting, the difference, because with a guitar, you can sort of stop playing a bit or just do something trivial when you're singing, and then you can sort of let loose and show off when the solo comes along. But a bass, you have to be there providing the underpinning of the whole song. And it's just a different approach and subtly different way of playing. So that's the guitar and the bass. And as I say, mandolin, it's not that much different really. Slightly different tuning. But I also play concertina, and that's because years ago I was a Morris man. And I used to go Morris dancing, and then I got hold of a concertina and learned to play that. So if you ever put a Morris team together, I can come along and play for you.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So this this whole musical journey that you are on, how do people get in touch with you on social media, websites, all these things? How do we do this, my friend?
Well, there's if you look at TonyRundle.com, that's my website. You can email Tony at TonyRundle.com, and you can find me on Facebook.
Oh,
so,
Facebook.
That's the main way of getting hold of me.
We have got a great guest for this today. He joins us live here, coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio today. You also find us on the mix on Tuesdays, and you can also see what we are up to over there on 990 WBOB each and every week. And apparently, Tony, a little bit later on, I'm going to be getting into some trouble. So I want to make sure that you are far, far away from this when we do this. But because we don't need to be, as they say, besmirching your good name.
Besmirch away, man.
Besmirch away, as they say. So one of the things that I love about your music is that you put it out there. You've got it all over the damn place. If people want to support your music, how do they do this? How do they find you and buy your stuff and all these things? They can
find me on Bandcamp. You can always listen to me on Spotify or iTunes and stuff like that.
Okay.
That doesn't help a lot. It's great for my ego.
It's
but
great
it takes
for my ego.
It takes about 300 people listening to me on Spotify to get 1 cent.
You know, I've heard that a lot lately.
So, if I get a few million people, I can take the family out to the cinema.
That's right. That's right.
But you can buy my stuff off Bandcamp if you're really kind.
So we are going to do this. I'm going to place you on a brief hold here on Skype.
Okay.
We are going to play your music. If I can... Oh, that might be the... I have been told, although I think it might be just the upstairs neighbor, but I have been told recently that apparently there are assassins that are coming to get me. So maybe that's an assassin at the door. I just think it's the next door neighbor with her child. We are going to do this. It is Friend for Life, and it's here on your world famous Jiggy Jaguar experience.
Another year comes and another year goes. Whatever it holds, well, nobody knows. Some old friends and maybe some new. I'm hoping one of them's going to be you. I'm here at home playing my guitar. I've no need to travel so very far. I once had a family, I once had a wife. A guitar is a friend for life. Some folks are cruel, some folks are kind. Whatever fate throws, my guitar won't mind. She laughs when I'm happy or a little bit high, and talks to me gently when I want to cry. She holds my hand when I feel alone. It's many years now since she became my own. Whatever the trouble, whatever the strife, a guitar is a friend for life. At life's stage door, maybe they'll remember the music we made, the songs we sang, and the tunes we played. I'll play in a band with some good old friends, where the bar's always open and the music never ends. I don't want a harp or celestial fife. A guitar is a friend for life.
It is Friend for Life. That is the remix. It is in 44K, as the kids like to say. And I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what it means to play us out, as Bill O'Reilly would say. I got to get the right cursor. I'm basically... There we are. I think we got it. I think we're back. We are back. Tony is with us. Tony Rundle.
They didn't assassinate you then?
They did not assassinate me. It was basically the woman who lives upstairs with her two kids and her husband who likes to go fishing and her purple hair that sometimes is pink. That's essentially what that was. It wasn't assassins. Although I have had, to be fair, I have had many people threaten to assassinate us on the Sunday radio show for years. Ed Till used to, radio talk show host Ed Till used to encourage people to knock down my door and shoot me while I was live on the air. I've had various rappers who have said that they didn't like certain other rappers that I interviewed, and they were going to come kill them, and then I was just going to be, I guess, taken out by a stray bullet. I have had apparently a guy who claims to be a comedian. I guess we'll say he's a comedian. I don't know. He said that there are going to be random people from California who are going to make their way to Kansas where I am currently broadcasting, and they have my address, which, by the way, I put up freely on the internet so I could get guests to come here, like we have one coming up here in a few. Apparently, they're going to be killing me. They're also signing me up for random emails from a place called China Love Cupid. So I've been getting a lot of Asian men sending me messages. It's been all sorts of fun, Tony. You've missed. You've missed this.
I'm lucky because over
you
here,
are terribly lucky because all you're doing is making music about guitars, baby. That's all you're doing.
You would like, if you look on my website on the album, you'll find "You Mustn't Kill Your Neighbor," which is another track.
Look at that! Look at that!
I'm in the process of re-recording that with new words as a result of all the shooting that's been going on over there. And it's a proper protest song, so I'll send that to you as soon as
you need to send that to me, and then I will play that. Right, I will use that. You know what would be great? And in fact, we used to do this back in the day when we were doing the Hollywood Ed Baldwin update. I would play Hollywood Swingin' by Kool and the Gang, and then we would do the update. When we do the Petty Murphy update, there is a rap song on YouTube called Petty Murphy. Don't Wake Up, Petty Murphy. We would play that. So I think what we'll do is the next time, because this is just something that happens to me pretty much 6 months out of the year. I have various people who threaten to come kill me, and that is amazing because, as I said, my address is freely available on the internet. I have a lot of lights and a lot of cameras and things set up in the studio for our guests. I would love to have a live assassination because I think that would do incredible numbers on Twitch. It would do incredible numbers for us. And I'll tell you, it might get me over my follower hump on Twitch because once I get to 50 followers, I can get monetization. Right now I'm at 30, and I think a live assassination attempt might get me over the hump. However, that would be the perfect song for the Who's Gonna Come Shoot Jiggy update. Don't kill thy neighbor. It would be perfect.
It'll get them upset because it'll definitely offend the NRA.
That too. It is, and you know they're a big lobbying group. Last I checked, as of I believe it was Friday around 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, guns have more rights than women in this country at this point.
I gather, yeah.
So
we
there is a lot going on, my friend.
We had a shooting here, and the government immediately banned handguns.
That's right.
So, you know.
Canada banned handguns. As the great Ross Long would say, the country of Canada.
Yes.
But you have been phenomenal, Tony. Once you get this song put together, this redone song that's going to offend the NRA and probably will offend all the various pro wrestlers and Texas kickboxers that are going to come hunt me down.
I can do that because I'm over here.
There you go. You're over there with IQ Al Rizzoli. IQ, I believe, lives over in the United Kingdom. And if you know IQ from our other radio and television projects, he lives in the UK. And he is originally from Iraq. And he always tells me, I am an outsider looking in. So you are an outsider looking in today, my friend.
Terribly sad.
You have been phenomenal. This has been just great. And I'm going to add this to our list of things that I need to do, and that is in make your song part of our Who's Gonna Kill Jiggy update. Don't kill thy neighbor. I appreciate it, sir. And you are phenomenal. We will talk to you soon. Thank you, man.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. All the best, mate.
Definitely. You're one of the good guys. Thank you, sir. There he goes. That is Tony Rundle. He joins us today here on our big program. And we are going to do this. We are going to take a brief time out here. And because as everybody knows, I'm kind of an asshole. And we are, what better way to go to break
Folks,
than to play Dennis Leary's
I'd like to sing a song about
asshole.
the American dream.
And
About me. About
we'll be
you.
back with you here in a few minutes.
About the way our American hearts beat.